We want to thank everybody for coming out today. It's afternoon already, but thank you for being here. The House and Senate Republicans are here today with a clear message. Arizona's responsible budget deserves a governor's signature. The House passed this Arizona First budget last week. The Senate passed it on Monday. Now it heads up to the governor's desk, and she should sign it. This budget focuses on what matters most to Arizona families: higher take-home pay, lower costs, protecting core services, and a responsible plan for state spending. The fastest way to help families in an affordability crisis is simple: let people keep more of what they earn. That's exactly what this budget does. Over the next 3 years, it returns almost $1.5 billion to Arizona taxpayers. It raises the standard deduction. It exempts tips and overtime pay from being taxed. It helps parents with child care costs. It increases the per-child refund by 25%. And it supports seniors by exempting retirement income that matters so much for anybody or every Arizonan age 60 or older. The goal is straightforward. You keep more. Arizona, you keep more. And government takes less. At a time when Arizona families are tightening their belts, it's important for state government, to also take less and tighten its belt. Governor Hobbs proposed increasing state spending by a budget of $18.7 billion. Our budget spends $800 million less, while still protecting those core services that matter so much to Arizonans and that they rely on. It fully funds K through 12 education with inflation increase as well. It provides $200 million for public school facility repairs. It supports low-income students. It eliminates co-pays for reduced price school meals, and it protects vulnerable Arizonans. So let's be clear. This budget cuts taxes, it protects essential services, it keeps spending in check, and it delivers real relief to Arizona families. The House has done its job. The Senate has done its job. Now it's time for the governor to do hers. This budget deserves a signature. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to ask President Peterson to share some words.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members. First of all, to the media, thank you guys so much for covering this critical issue for Arizona. I want to first say thank you to the colleagues standing behind me. I want to thank them for their incredible leadership. I've been at the legislature for 14 years now, and I have seen the bill moratorium before used as leverage. What I have never seen before is a governor walk away from the negotiating table on an issue she should be leading on. This is an epic leadership failure. We've been asking for the governor to come to the table even before the session to address these important issues of tax conformity, delivering one of the biggest tax cuts in the history of Arizona, bringing certainty to the taxpayer. She has not. She finally did come to the table, and then when she didn't like something that was said, she threw a tantrum and she walked away. And she said, "Send me a budget." So in an unprecedented way, we were asked to send a budget without her being at the negotiating table. Well, that is exactly what we did. We put together a bipartisan budget. This budget not only delivered historic tax relief, one of the biggest tax cuts in the history of Arizona, and don't kid yourself, affordability is the top issue right now, and that is the issue that we are delivering on. We are putting more money in the pockets of the citizens of Arizona, and government is doing with less as it should. Now, we have delivered this budget in a bipartisan manner. We have included several things that the Democrats were bipartisan asks. They were asked from both sides of the aisle, and those were included because we wanted to put forward a realistic budget that she could sign. And so here we are now. And it's time for the governor to do the right thing and sign this budget and bring certainty, and also to deliver the core and essential services that people expect from government. So with that, I will go ahead and turn it over to the Majority Leader.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President, members, press. I want to talk about the numbers because numbers do matter. This budget is not built on gimmicks. It's not built on inflated projections. It's not even built on speculative revenues. It is built on real numbers, responsible spending, and respect for the taxpayers who pay the bills. Governor Hobbs proposed a spending of $18.7 billion. Our budget spends $800 million less. And even while it's spending less, this budget still funds education, protects core services, supports vulnerable Arizonans, and returns $1.5 billion, yes, $1.5 billion back to the hard-working Arizonan. That is responsible budgeting. Every dollar government spends comes from the hard-working Arizona, someone who earned that dollar. It comes from a family paying the mortgage, a worker filling up the gas tank, a parent buying groceries, and a small business trying to keep their employees employed. So when we talk about tax relief, we are talking about real relief for real people. More money in paychecks, more help for families, more relief for seniors, and less government taking from the people who are really doing all the hard work. The other side wants to call this a cut because we are not spending as much as the governor wanted. That is not a cut where I come from. That is budgeting. We do it over the kitchen table. Families do it every day. Businesses do it. State government needs to do it too. Governor Hobbs now has a simple choice. She can sign a responsible budget that spends less, protects priorities, and lets Arizonans keep more of what they earned. She can reject tax relief for families while asking those same hardworking families to foot more of her spending, not less. We believe Arizona families deserve better. We believe they deserve relief. We believe government should live within its means. And we believe this budget deserves the governor's signature. Thank you, and I'll introduce Majority Leader Kavanaugh.
Thank you. Yes, I am dressed to the occasion, Howie. I'm actually dressed this way because I'm attempting to dispel the false narrative of the Democrats that Republicans are just a bunch of millionaires not looking out for the working man. And I wasn't told about this. It's another good reason. The prior speakers spoke about the numbers and the different aspects of the budget, why we think it's a good, responsible budget and not an irresponsible one built on non-existent revenue, taxes, fees, bonding, and other schemes. Let me just say how we approached this budget. We had a choice. We said, do we look after our constituents, people who are concerned about affordability, people who might be struggling because of the economy, or do we expand government? Do we feed more government? And we made a conscious decision to look out for the ordinary person, for our constituents. And that's why this budget is less than the governor's budget and does not have gimmicks and borrowing and wasteful spending. We're trimming government, not the pockets of our constituents. We're giving them $1.4 billion in tax relief over the next 4 years. And that's what it's all about the people, not big government. Thank you.
Okay, so
Questions?
the members will take a couple of questions. questions before the House has to go to floor at 1:15? Who wants to start?
I'll start over here, if it's okay, Mr. Speaker, come on down.
Sure.
You've been here a few years, as is Mr. Peterson. It's fairly clear this budget is going to be vetoed. So now what? What's the plan once the 13 bills or whatever is in the budget come back? In fact, the governor's office said, they called your staff, said, we're ready to sit down and negotiate tomorrow. Are you ready to sit down and negotiate?
We've been here. We never left the table. We've been here working hundreds of hours. Our members, our staff, many of our members have dedicated, if not all of them, hours and hundreds of hours to this budget. Where has the governor been?
Mexico.
She says she's her staff.
So I'm answering your question.
Okay.
So
Are you prepared
she,
to sit down with her?
we have been prepared. We've been waiting. We've told the governor she can call us, she can text us, she can email us, she can show up here. We have been waiting. We just got a call after we passed the budget. She called and said she wants to have a conversation. So we believe this budget deserves a signature. This budget is a serious budget. It's a budget that keeps Arizonans in mind. It's a budget that spends less and gives more to the families of Arizona. She should sign it.
Okay, let's take one more question. Right here, Cameron, go ahead.
Do you guys know if the bill moratorium is still in effect or no?
That's a good question you should ask the governor.
You have taken a lot of sweeping from lots of budgets, tens of millions of dollars. There's $350 million sitting in unused ESA accounts and at least $50 million that's inactive that can automatically be swept. Why not take that money?
Right now, Republicans have made it very clear. We are going to stand with moms. We are going to stand with dads. We are going to make sure that it is moms and dads around the kitchen table that are making the best decisions for their kids in education.
You ready to wrap it up for House floor? Speaker,
as a party,
House floor.
or is it?
Yeah, but you scheduled this to
will
be.
the
We are-
or will she have to do all the compromise?
Once again, we have been here. If you notice this budget, it includes a lot of what we've been discussing. It protects vulnerable communities. It funds education fully. It has things in there that even the governor has mentioned she wants. So we have been at the table. We're going to continue to fight for Arizona. What we will not do is allow this governor to raise taxes and spend more for her programs on the backs of every family in Arizona. Thank you. We have to get to the floor.
Doesn't include its funding for Sunbucks. The governor
I'll do
wants
that.
1.8 million.
I'll do the
to fund that,
Sunbucks.
to fund that. In return, she says you'll get about $79 million in federal matching funds. Why not fund that?
The Sunbucks is a false narrative. The kids this year will have the Sunbucks money. It's funded for this year. I don't know why the governor said that, but it's simply not true. The Sunbucks money is here, and going into future years, we'd be more than happy to talk with her. Unfortunately, she walked away a month ago, so we didn't have that conversation. But if you have a kid who uses Sunbucks, the money will be here this summer.
Thank you, guys. We have to get to the floor, the House. Thank you for being here. Let's ask this governor to sign this budget.